into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome home.
Good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. He's back, everybody. Oh, we missed you.
I love that.
Making sure it's nice and
OCD much, just, got to fix things. It's so good to be back.
Do you have an American accent now?
Almost, man. I'm trying. No, the South African accent stands out so much.
There we go. I love it. Put it there.
Romantic sounding accent.
Welcome back.
In the world. It's so good to be here. It's on like Donkey Kong. Yeah. I completely stole that from you, and sorry, buddy. I had to this morning. He actually gets to play Donkey Kong on the Switch, and he reckons it's the best edition of Donkey Kong yet. Which is quite a statement.
I cannot wait. Something that I also can't wait to do is share with you what's happening in the world of entertainment and all things trending. There's still so much drama in the Facebook office, you guys.
It's complicated.
It is.
And it was massive in the US. They had a TV screen with Mark Zuckerberg on the entire time that I was there. It's big.
You serious?
Really big.
It's very big indeed. And something else that's going to be big is her performance this morning. Marcé Underwood joins us in studio. She's going to bring so much soul. You do not want to miss out on that fantastic performance that's on its way.
And then the doctor is in the house. Dr. Darren Green is here today. Something really important, something that affects a lot of people. We are talking about anemia. We'll come to grips with that. And we want to hear from you, please. If you've got any questions, you've got a doctor on speed dial this morning, 0214309881. And he looks amazing as well. So
he certainly did. Somebody else that looks amazing is Mr. Ewan Schroeder. What's happening in the weather, Ewan?
Well, thank you. Good morning, team. Lovely to be hanging out with you on your Tuesday. Let's have a good one together. As always, let's quickly kick off with your weather and your temperatures. Now, rain is expected in the interior of South Africa with cool conditions in the northeastern region and warmer temperatures along the coast can be expected. Your temperatures quickly: Polokwane 12 minimum with a mild maximum of 24 degrees, Mbombela 14.27, Pretoria 14.22, Johannesburg 12 minimum this morning reaching high of 21 degrees, Mahikeng 13.22 with thunder showers, Klerksdorp on 13 minimum with a maximum 22, Kimberley 13 and a cool maximum of 19 and some thunder showers expected. A couple of thunder showers for Bloemfontein as well, 10 minimum and a cool 18 maximum, Richards Bay 19.28, Pietermaritzburg 15.26, Durban 20.26, Mthatha starting off on 13, reaching a high of 26 degrees and some thunder showers expected. East London 18.26, Cradock 11.23, Port Elizabeth 15 minimum with a maximum 27, George 14.28, Sutherland starting off on 10 minimum, reaching a high of 23 degrees. Cape Town 15.23, Worcester 14.29, Springbok starting off on 11 minimum with a maximum 26 degrees, and Uppington can expect some thunder showers for your Tuesday starting off on 14, reaching a high of 26 degrees maximum. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures. We'll get into it again just after 7 o'clock.
Well, let's take a first look at your roads. Now, there's a nationwide bus strike taking place on Wednesday with at least 80% of the country's passenger buses that will be on lockdown over pay disputes. So please make alternative transport arrangements. But starting with your traffic in the Western Cape in Bellville, there's been an accident, and this is on the N1 inbound before Yoghurt Parfait Drive, and it's causing traffic to already be backed up from the R300 highway. So you can expect some delays this morning making your way into town. And that's where I leave your traffic for now. More coming your way in half an hour.
Pharmadynamics, effective, affordable healthcare.
Well, we were supposed to take a look at what's happening in the world of social media, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Ewan feeling really, really positive, and we want to know, why is he feeling so positive? Well, it is a Tuesday, and we're starting out on a very positive note. Let us know what you're excited for this week. Alrighty, Gwyneth kicking us off, saying, I'm excited that there are just 3 more sleeps, and then it's Friday. High five to you, Gwyneth. And Nathan Paul says, I'm excited for something you normally are not excited for as a learner. My report. Now, that is somebody who studied and worked hard, right? Vincent says, good morning, fam. Have a beautiful Tuesday. Sabelo says, morning, something exciting. My mother's B-day today. Happy birthday, Sabelo's mom. And then Taboho says, morning, guys, for making changes to people around me. Keep them coming. We want to know, what positive changes are you going to make in your life this coming week?
Well, as the morning kick starts, we thought we should inform you about some interesting facts that we've come across as we take a look at what happened on this day in history for the 17th of April.
Absolutely. So firstly, Zoe.
Yes.
Have you ever wondered about living on another planet?
Not really. I haven't
Not
explored
really?
enough of my own planet
Well,
yet.
there's exactly, but there's a lot of people that actually do think about this. But it turns out that this concept isn't just science fiction anymore, because on this day in 2014, NASA's Kepler confirmed the discovery of the first Earth-sized planets in the habitable zone of another star. So living on another planet isn't such a far-fetched idea anymore. It's just how to get there. How to
And
get
how
there.
to survive when you're there.
Yeah, but let's stay here for now. That's fine.
Also, on today, in 1969, Dorothy Fisher became the first South African woman to undergo a heart transplant. She's also the 5th overall patient in South Africa, but she also became the longest surviving patient as well. So something for the history books.
Definitely making history on this day. So that's our bite-sized dose of this day in history. Go out there, seize it, make it yours.
Oh man, and go and make a coffee yours. Loving Precious in our Mac Cafe, keeping things fresh this morning. And we want you to be fresh because we've got a jam-packed show after the break. Of course, Mark Zuckerberg in the news again for all the wrong reasons. We're going to hone in on the massive Facebook trial that's unraveling in social media as well as we speak. Then it's on like Donkey Kong. Ewan's going to come to grips with the biggest fella out there when it comes to gaming, and it's returned for a brand new edition. We'll see you now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Well, you know what that tune means. It's time for us to find out what's happening in Mzansiwood.
Yeah, that's right. Well, graduation fever is in the air, and our female celebrities are certainly doing it for themselves. Now, just weeks after Nomzamo Mbata graduated from the University of Cape Town, here, big cheer. Another local star has become a graduate, and this time from the University of KZN. Influencer and fitness bunny Zbahle Impisane shared photos from her graduation on social media, and yes, I must say her outfit is everything to go by. That is so that, is it houndstooth is so hot right now. She wore a beautiful grey skirt with matching blazer, embellished with red stones on the shoulders, and she graduated with a degree in city planning. And of course, if her choice of outfits is anything to go by, whatever her future holds will certainly be
Come with the graduation or
probably
Questions.
yeah.
Was that her dad that was with her in the one picture? Because it was just such a proud smile.
Yeah, I think so. I see there's some Impisane
Yeah.
vibes.
Congratulations.
The nose of the dad, you can see on the nose.
Congratulations.
This
Yeah,
is a good
beautiful
message
nose.
to send all influencers out there. It's not just about having a following, it's about having a bit of gravitas, something to back that all up.
And there's something about sitting through that ceremony. I mean, you are waiting for hours to hear your name, and then you get like 10 seconds on that podium, and then you're off.
I'm sure you
She looks
owned it
stunning.
as well.
Congratulations indeed. Now from one star sharing her success to another, sharing her happiness, Afrikaans singer Caroline van Jaarsveld stunned Roy Rosa readers with a power pose as she graced the cover of next month's edition. Now the star, who welcomed a baby girl in late 2017 with her husband Joe Breitenbach, looks absolutely radiant in a blazer with a pose that is simply reading absolute and complete control. Now that is
Look at that
power
focus,
dressing
man.
to the max. Wow.
That is
She's
gorgeous.
hey?
Yeah.
Stunning.
We'll be
Beautiful
seeing
stuff.
her on the shelves.
Definitely.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Well, that's our dose of what's going down locally when it comes to entertainment news. Stay tuned. We'll bring you up to speed with all our international stars. But right now, let's come to grips with, I think, one of the biggest gaming stars ever. And I mean biggest, literally. It's Donkey Kong.
Very excited for this one. It's all about gaming on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. Gareth Woods joins us once again, and we are serving up some serious Nintendo nostalgia with everyone's primordial favorite primate. We're talking Donkey Kong this morning. Tropical Freeze is what we're looking at. Gareth,
Yeah.
lucky to have you, my brother.
Yeah, good to be here.
Fun, man. I think that's the only way, by looking at it, how I can sum it up, man. Very cool. So Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Gareth, first came out with the Wii U console in 2014, around there, a couple of years back. It didn't do too well, as I remember.
I think it had more to do with the console itself.
With the
Wii wasn't
console.
a super popular console.
That's the thing, yeah. But I mean, now we on the Switch. What's happening?
So I mean, Donkey Kong's been around since, probably longer than Mario, some people will argue, in the very first Donkey Kong game.
Yes.
And I mean, he's kind of been one of the stars of the Nintendo franchise.
That's
so
right.
we saw Kirby last week. Donkey Kong is pretty much as big, if not bigger than Kirby. And, along with Mario, some of the bigger Nintendo names. And so now he's got his kind of own game here just collecting puzzle pieces,
Well
sorry.
done, man.
He's got his own game here, Tropical Freeze. What's happened is this bad guy's come in and he's frozen the island, and you are off to try and sort things out. I'm only kind of on the second stage, and I got the game yesterday, so I haven't had a lot of time to fall off cliffs. It's essentially a platform game. What's cool is you get these other companions to play with, so you get, obviously this is Donkey Kong, you get Diddy and Dixie and a whole bunch of others, and they've all got different kind of special abilities and power-ups that help you throughout the game, hopefully not fall off cliffs here. Here we go. Like, for example, pick up this crate, and there we go. I get my companion, and she helps me a little bit. She's got a bit of a boost jump that,
Oh, look at that.
uses her hair as a helicopter, as one does.
So, I mean, how does Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze perform now on the Switch console? Because, I mean, obviously we like the Switch. It's been doing some
it's one of my
phenomenal
favorite
things.
consoles. It's just, first of all, graphically, it's far advanced compared to what we saw on the on Wii U.
Yeah.
But also just like the controller, I'm playing in the kind of normal traditional controller setting. I mean, besides the fact that I'm not using a handheld. But I mean, you can play 2 players, you can use the motion controls if you want to. There are a whole bunch of different ways to play. Obviously, the fact that, in terms of normal Switch mechanics, I'm playing here in console mode. I can pick this up and I'm on the go playing in kind of handheld, mobile mode, which is great as well. Because it's a good game to, play on the train or a plane or if you're sitting waiting for a bus. Whatever.
That's the thing, exactly. But I mean, taking a look at 2D platform games, how does this one compare to what is out there, especially taking a look at the console and an iconic game like Donkey Kong?
It's weird for me because whenever Nintendo brings out a platform game, it's like inherently they've become the masters of the genre. And so, they've been doing it for so long that, some of your traditional mechanics are still there as kind of like fan favorites, but they're always trying to introduce something new. And this is no different. I mean, there are a couple of, traditional platform mechanics is you get used to, for example, picking up free lives and all that sort of stuff, but in between stages, there are these kind of barrel stages. You've got to time things right. You've got some where you're on a runaway kind of mine cart. You've got boss fights. You've got everything you come to expect in a kind of traditional platformer.
Dude. Well, I must be honest. It doesn't look like you've only got this game yesterday, the way you've been playing. But that's just the expert that you are as well, man.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks a lot, dude. And happy adventuring with Donkey Kong.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. Tropical Freeze, that's what we were talking about this morning. Let us know what you think about this game. Is this something that you would like to add to your gaming collection? You can hit us up on our social media Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Then hashtag, as always, hashtag Expresso Show. Don't let the
Barrel of laughs, excuse the pun. Now time to get into our Tech Daily Update, see what's been breaking news in the world of tech.
Well, if at all during the ongoing Facebook data scandal you thought to yourself, you know what, I'm good, I don't have a Facebook account, then you shouldn't celebrate too soon because Facebook has dominated news headlines since it was revealed that user data ended up in the possession of political consultancy Cambridge Analytica, thus causing growing concern over user privacy. Now, last week, Mark Zuckerberg revealed in his question session that for security purposes, Facebook tracks data of people who aren't even signed up to Facebook. Now, they do this through cookies, which are small bits of data that are saved when people interact with websites. For example, if you do online shopping and you return to the site later on, it will remember which items you had in your checkout basket. Cookies allow them to store that tiny bit of information.
Facebook tells you to buy something for your friend. You know that friend of yours? Just get one of these for security reasons. It was amazing how big that story was in the US at the moment. I think Mark Zuckerberg is still going to reap the whirlwind there. But just reminds us all to stay safe online. Then if you're a fugitive in China, unfortunately, you cannot stay safe because they are watching. We brought you some pretty advanced technology when it comes to facial recognition that's being implemented in China, obviously looking to apprehend criminals. Well, they have now picked out a criminal in a crowd of over 50,000 people, a guy wanted for financial crimes, identified him, and obviously he got a bit of a shock when at a concert, the popo arrived behind him, clamped him in chains and arrested him. They've actually apprehended a couple of thousand people through this technology, and you can imagine what it means for those serious crimes as well, for databases where they've got very wanted criminals, but it's facial recognition technology used on an entirely different scale. And when you take into account the number of people living in China to be able to implement something like this, now you match that with their social credit system, and it's all starting to get a little bit crazy. But you can let us know what you think about that. Is the state taking it too far when they're using facial recognition to track every single body and track everyone's behavior as well? And you throw that social credit in the mix, it's a crazy, brave new world that we live in.
Exactly. Well, that's what's happening in the world of technology. Never a dull moment, but be sure to keep it locked to your Expresso Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'll make sure that you've got all of the important details.
Well, Joburg, I hope you are ready because the best has been saved for last, and the presenter search on 3 auditions is brought to you by McCafe and Capitec, and they're coming to you this weekend. Now, auditions will be taking place on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and that's at the Wanderers Stadium with the gates opening at 8 a.m. Now, Joburg is notorious for producing some of the best talent, and that's why 3 whole days have been dedicated to your city to find the new face of SABC3 to join us right here on Expresso, Afternoon Express or Top Billing. So make sure you get down there and you're ready to impress the judges with a 15-second link that shows off your talent. And for all of the details and what to expect on the day, you can visit the website. That's presentersearchon3.com.
Look, it's going to be very, very exciting. We can't wait to see you guys there. Be ready to impress. Listen, we're going to take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere because Marcé Underwood is here. Yeah, she's a rock star. Not only does she look absolutely beautiful, but her voice is incredible. Don't miss her performance coming up after the break. And then we also have the good doctor in the house, Dr. Darren Green. He's here. We're talking about something that affects so many people, anemia. So if you want to find out more, stay tuned after the break. Remember that number to call is 021 430 9881 if you have any questions. We'll see you now.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropika Island of Treasure Maldives. Buy a Tropika, follow the entry details on the pack, and you can win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropika.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropika Island of Treasure Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
Want to maximum joy, city lights, quiet night. smooth operator. Smooth operator. He's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Come on. Yes. Okay. Are we just sound checking? Are we just sound checking now? Come on. Yeah. Woo. Here we go. I remember when
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Man, it's a good Tuesday. It's a good Tuesday, man. I can't wait for the music a little bit later on. But before we get there, let's quickly take a look at what's trending, what's interesting, what's funny out there on the interwebs.
Oh, guys, we came across such a cute video on Facebook. Now, I grew up middle child, so sharing is caring usually, but not if you have a bunch of siblings and you don't want to share with them. This little toddler hid her chips under her blanket while the others are playing, and you can just see there's no way she's going to share with them.
Well, look at her. She's like,
they're looking?
they're not
Okay.
looking.
That was so mean.
Quickly.
That was so mean.
Check how nervous she is, though.
Eat your chippy and hide it again.
Could you get it? Like,
Don't even crunch. Don't crunch it in your mouth. Don't crunch it in your mouth.
close it.
There we go. Nope, see? Brother and sister not getting anything.
That is adorable.
And I'm not eating anything.
like, no.
I'm
talking
pretending
about-
I'm not eating right
I don't have
now.
a chip in my mouth. Nothing.
That was me.
Oh man, that's just too
me.
sweet. Okay, let's see if we can up the cuteness stakes. And this one is really, really cool. Someone arrives at the office, everyone wants to know who they are, where do they come from, what do they look like. However, after Michael Lenz, a UCLA professor, had witnessed new arrivals at his university, probably the only question that crossed his mind was, what is going on? Take a look at this.
Okay.
Look at the window outside.
My colleague's
What's happening?
windowsill a few weeks ago, and I just can't even.
Red,
Look at the owls.
Those are owls. That's a family of owls. They were actually chicks born outside, so that's their hood. That's their little nest, presumably out there.
Wow.
But many owls.
Did someone in your office recently turn
11.
11?
Oh, funny. That's a reference to.
Oh, if you watched Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly, man. Absolutely beautiful stuff. But
Wow,
there are tons of
quite-
owls sharing, obviously, residential space. They exist around us. There might be an owl staring into your house.
Owls have these kind of intense eyes and the stare. So imagine you trying to do your work.
Owls are silently
like-
judging your productivity. I'm queen of procrastination.
This is like the best day at the office ever, man.
goodness
Maybe
me.
there's an owl watching us right now.
Maybe, I'm sure there is. Guys, thank you very much. Adorable. But let us know which hashtag video or story has caught your attention online this morning. You can share your thoughts with us online on our Facebook page and also on Twitter using that hashtag Expresso Show. You guys ready for some music?
Yeah, man.
Let's do some music. Now, this morning we are joined by a Cape Town local, Marcé Underwood, a true woman of independence. Now, a recent graduate from University of Cape Town with an honours degree, she holds down a job in the corporate space, being a talent booking agent, as well as embracing single motherhood, and this all alongside being a singer and a performer in her hometown, Cape Town. Now, every moment on a stage living her passion makes it all worthwhile for her. Now, she joins us this morning to perform Nas Barkley's Crazy.
Yeah, come on. Here we go. I remember when I lost my drives me crazy. Passively. My friends, they left me out on the limb. And all I remember, yeah, I wanna be like them. Come on, yeah. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. You really think you're in control. Come on, yeah. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? And sometimes I'm crazy, possibly. Does that make me crazy? 'Cause sometimes we're crazy, and right now we're crazy, possibly.
Good, man. Wow. And to the band as well. You guys are phenomenal. Look, man, we love Niles Barkley, but Niles Barkley who? You know, no, she's here. She's here. Marcé Underwood's here. That's amazing. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
That's phenomenal. I don't know how you do it all. Full-time job, working, single mom, singing career as well. How does it work? What's going on?
I think I just like to, juggle things. That's the best way I know life. So with the music, it's just that balance, and I can have this beautiful outlet with my band, apart from the corporate space and everything else I'm involved in. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, we can't wait to get to know a little bit more about you and what you're all about and your music. Where can people follow you? Because you've seen all the videos that went live all over the place as well.
Yes, Instagram, Facebook. We have a hashtag as well. This is my band, Project Escape, by the way. So Marcé Underwood and then Project Escape as well.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to get to know you. Go chill out. Go have a bit of a moment in between. Grab yourselves a cup of coffee, guys. You're going to be here all morning. Let us know what you thought about Marcé Underwood's performance on our social media pages using that hashtag Expresso Show. She'll be back for more a little bit later on.
In the national news this morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa announced yesterday evening that South Africa would host a major investment conference later this year, which would aim to raise over 1 trillion rand in new investments over 5 years. He was speaking at OR Tambo International Airport before leaving for a Commonwealth Heads of State meeting in London. He also announced his decision to appoint 4 special envoys on investment, namely Trevor Manuel, Mcebisi Jonas, Jacques-Marie and Phumzile Langeni, to travel across the world and approach would-be investors to encourage investment in South Africa. The Gupta family's properties are now under curatorship after the National Prosecuting Authority obtained a restraining order in Bloemfontein High Court. The curator visited the Saxonwold Gupta compound in Johannesburg and is also expected to attach more properties totaling some 250 million rand. The family and their businesses have been implicated in the Estina dairy farm theft and money laundering case. The farm is near Vrede in the Free State. Now moving further abroad, state-owned or rather state-sponsored Russian hackers are actively seeking to hijack essential internet hardware, US and UK intelligence agency says. The UK's National Cybersecurity Centre, the FBI and the US Department of Homeland Security have issued a joint alert warning of a global campaign. The alert details methods used to compromise the networking equipment utilised to move traffic across the net. During a media conference on the alert, the White House Cybersecurity Coordinator Rob Joyce said that the US and its allies had high confidence that Russia was behind the broad campaign. And then finally, President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria will meet President Donald Trump in Washington on April the 30th to discuss issues including fighting terrorism and economic growth. The White House said in a joint statement that President Trump is looking forward to discussing ways of enhancing their strategic partnership and advancing shared priorities, such as promoting economic growth and reforms, fighting terrorism and other threats to peace and security, and building on Nigeria's role as a democratic leader in the region. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sport. He's back. Here's Graham.
Let's kick it off with local football this morning. Mamelodi Sundowns can take a massive step towards this season's PSL crown if they beat Golden Arrows in Pretoria tonight. Sundowns will be the more confident side ahead of the match, having already beaten Arrows in December's reverse fixture, and they secured a 1-0 win in Durbs. Tonight's game gets underway at Loftus at 7:30. Then staying with football a little further afield, Stoke City's Premier League relegation battle received a major blow last night as they drew 1-1 with West Ham in London. The result leaves Stoke in a tough position with 4 games to play. The Potters lie second last on the table with 28 points, 5 points ahead of safety. There's a midweek EPL action on the cards tonight as Brighton host Tottenham Hotspur. Kickoff for that fixture is 9:15 South African time. Then a massive night in local rugby last night, and we've got to tip our hats to Marties. They were crowned 2018 Varsity Cup champions last night as they beat Puka by 40 points to 7 in Stellenbosch, doing it in style. In their third consecutive final, the team from Steadies led from start to finish in a dominant performance to claim their 4th title overall and first in 7 years. Also in action yesterday, CUT beat Walter Sisulu University in a nail-biter, 37 points to 31. That was in the Varsity Cup promotion relegation playoff, so well done to them as well. And finally on to tennis. There were no problems for Novak Djokovic at the Monte Carlo Masters yesterday as he brushed aside qualifier Dusan Lajovic in straight sets. The former world number 1 made light work of Lajovic, wrapping up a 6-love, 6-1 win in less than an hour to set up a round 2 clash with Croatia's Borna Koric. Elsewhere, Milos Raonic and Kai Nishikori also claiming opening round victories. And that's where we leave our sport for now.
Thank you, Graham. In terms of the nationwide bus strike set to start Wednesday, at least 80% of the country's passenger buses will be on lockdown over pay dispute, so please make alternative arrangements. Now in Gauteng and Germiston, as usual, there's some delays on the N3 northbound, and it's between the Geldenhuys interchange and the main Reef Road in Elandsfontein. And that's where I leave your traffic for now. I'll have more for you at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Zoe. It's just after 7 o'clock. Let's quickly get another take on your weather and your temperatures. And it looks like rain is expected for the interior parts of South Africa today, with cool conditions in the northeastern region and a little bit warmer conditions along the coastal areas. Your temperatures: Polokwane 12 minimum with a maximum 24 degrees, Mbombela 14.27, Pretoria 14.22, Johannesburg 12.21, Mahikeng 13.22 with thundershowers expected, Klerksdorp 13.22 as well. Kimberley can expect some thundershowers today, 13 minimum and your maximum 19. Also some thundershowers for Bloemfontein, 10 minimum and a cool 18. Richards Bay 19.28, Pietermaritzburg 15.26, Durban 20.26. Some thundershowers for Mthatha today, starting off on 13, reaching a high of 26 degrees. East London 18.26, Cradock 11.23 and a couple of thundershowers today. Port Elizabeth 15.27, George 14 minimum with a maximum 28 degrees. Sutherland 10 minimum and 23 degrees maximum. Cape Town 15.23, Worcester 14.29, Springbok on 11 minimum with a maximum 26, and some thundershowers expected for Uppington on your Tuesday, and starting off on 14, reaching a high of 26 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 7 o'clock bulletin. I'll bring you a final look just after 8.
Well, time to connect with you on social media, and as a fellow Stellenbosch alumni, I wish I was at that Varsity Cup final match last night, but congratulations to Stellenbosch University, the Marties team, taking the win. We are following the hashtag #MakeTheTeam, and of course a lot of people sending their congratulations to the team, but congratulations Stellenbosch or Marties Rugby for being crowned the 2018 champions. Love to hear from you and love connecting with you. That hashtag we were looking at this morning was #MakeTheTeam, but you can use our hashtag Expresso Show.
Is Zoe's hair blonde? I want to know, is it light brown, is it blonde?
When I see her on the screen, I'm like, I get like tones of blondness, but it looks hot. Have you noticed
gorgeous.
Zoe's new hairstyle? You need to go check it out. It's absolutely amazing. Well, stuff that's coming up after the show. Dr. Darren Green is in the house, and we're talking about anemia today. So if you struggle with this, please feel free to give us a call. And of course, we are here to answer all of those questions.
Yeah, man, he really is the tome of all knowledge. And then, of course, we're also going to continue on that health trend, understanding our digestive system. How does it all work? Hopefully well. We'll find out after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. It's Tuesday, and so you know that means Medical Tuesday. Dr. Darren Green is in the house. Now, the question we're asking is, do you often feel fatigued or have a pale skin complexion or feel lightheaded and dizzy without any explanation? Well, it could be an indication that you have problems with your blood, and more specifically, anemia, which is a condition where the blood contains too few red blood cells. So our resident doctor in the house, Dr. Darren Green, is here to unpack the situation. Dr. Darren Green, so good to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thanks,
You're
guys.
flexing in the break and just
showing us the iron that's in our blood, because that's one of the reasons, one of the causes for anemia. And I've experienced, you know, when I go and donate blood, they prick the finger and they tell me my iron is low, I can't donate.
Quick check. Yes, that's right.
So what is why do our blood need iron? Why does our blood need iron?
So without iron, the molecule that actually carries oxygen to all the body parts, including the brain, the heart, the muscles, etc., can't perform its function. The molecule in the blood, in the red blood cells, for example, have a protein called hemoglobin, which comprises heme, which is iron, and then the globin part's the protein part.
Yeah.
And oxygen then binds to that molecule and is then carried all over the body. So if you have too little red cells, you could be anemic. If you have too little iron to actually form red cells, you can be anemic. Or if you have other conditions that are actually killing your red cells too quickly, you can be anemic as well.
Wow. What happens if the body is completely depleted of iron? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, well, you die.
Oh, okay.
As simple as that. You know, if you can't carry oxygen throughout the body, that's what would happen. You know, in normal blood, you can see the amount of red blood cells is abundant. The circulation of red cells, you can see the amount is much less concentrated.
Yeah.
And there are many different disease processes that lead to having a lower red cell count.
Okay. Well, doctor, I wouldn't have known I had, a low iron count if I didn't have my finger pricked to go donate blood. What are some of the other symptoms to look out for if you're potentially anemic?
Good question. I think a lot of people feel tired.
Yeah.
The problem with an iron deficiency or with anemia is that you only often experience some of these symptoms when it's quite far gone. In other words, a normal hemoglobin, for example, is above 12, 12.5, etc. But when it drops under 8, depending on your age, depending on your activity levels, you then manifest with the signs and symptoms, which are shortness of breath, fatigue, pale skin. You look whiter than white, almost a bit like Twilight. And then, of course, you can look at the nails. So the nail beds are often pale. Yeah. Your tongue is often pale as well. And then we look at the eyes as well.
Okay. Yeah. And I want to know, I don't know if this question is relevant, but is it true that you can also look at your stool? Is that also an indication of your iron?
Well, only if the cause of your iron shortage is a GIT bleed. In other words, if there's blood that's bleeding from an ulcer in the stomach, that's acted upon by the acid in the stomach, that then turns like a tar color, black or ground coffee, and that's called melena. You'd then pick that up.
I remember when I was younger, my toes used to pull stiff a lot. You know, and you're like, this is painful. Is that an iron deficiency?
You can get spasms, long term. But I think there were other causes. Those high heels, man.
It was not fun. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about what would cause someone to have a low iron count. Dr. Darren Green is in the house. If you have a question or comment or you are concerned about your current situation, please do give us a call. That number is 021 430 9881. Does your toes also do that thing?
Yeah, and I'm so glad that your toes are normal now. They're not anymore. That's ridiculous, so funny. Listen, right now we are talking about digestive issues. Things like IBS, or more commonly known as irritable bowel syndrome, is a huge topic at the moment and also becoming one of the most common causes for health concerns and problems nowadays. Now, joining us back in your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning, Lize Stander, dietitian. She's here to talk about these digestive issues and also what causes them and how can we kind of manage them or combat them. Lize, lovely to have you back. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much.
IBS, that's horrible. That's horrible to have, man.
It is.
We're going to unpack that a little bit later on. But firstly, microbiomes. All right, there's been in the news a lot. There's a lot of media coverage about it. Stomach things. It's a lot going around as well this year. But what is microbiomes?
Right. So a microbiome refers to the vast and diverse community of microorganisms in the gut.
Okay.
There are actually 10 times more microbes in your gut than there are cells in the human body.
Really?
Which shows you how vast it really is.
Okay, and how important it is to look after them.
Exactly, precisely.
So what happens if it goes out of balance? What causes it, and what leads to what kind of condition can you expect if your microbiomes are not the way that or functioning the way they should?
Many things affect your microbiome, such as your lifestyle, your diet, the medication that you're on, like antibiotics. So all these things affect what your microbiome also looks like, as well as genetic components. So a common condition that you can expect is IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, as you just said. But it's not the only thing. It's not only your microbiome that will affect whether or not you have IBS.
Right. What exactly is the function of these microbiomes? Just to unpack it quickly.
Great. So the primary function of your microbiome is to ferment undigestible carbohydrates. And what that does, it aids digestion.
Okay.
But it also plays a role in your immunity and general health, but specifically your gut health.
Okay, so let's talk about IBS. I mean, how common are these IBS symptoms nowadays? Like I've mentioned, there's been a lot of talk about it as well. And when is it IBS, and when is it just a mild digestive issue?
It is very common. About 10 to 15% of people suffer from IBS.
Really?
Yeah. It's a little bit more prevalent among women though. But let's say if we compare IBS with lactose intolerance, the symptoms can look almost identical, but the way you treat it would be vastly different.
Okay, so how do you go about, if you do suspect that you have a case of IBS or even a mild digestive kind of problem, what do you do? Is there a way that you can kind of get it back to normal relatively quickly? Because sitting with a stomach bug is no fun.
No fun at all. So there are things that you can do to support your gut health. So that would include a probiotic in your diet and a prebiotic. So a probiotic refers to the actual live bacteria that you can get through certain foods such as yogurt, kimchi, kombucha. All these health foods are now on the market, and also your prebiotics. And your prebiotics feed the probiotics in your gut. And the food sources of those would be like bananas, onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, these kinds of foods.
I need to ask you this quickly. When somebody has a severe case of IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, what do you stand to do in that moment whilst you have it? Is there something that you can do to ease the discomfort? Because it really gets, it gets horrible.
Absolutely. So changing your diet firstly, you get a low FODMAP diet that can help with IBS symptoms. You can also treat it medically depending if it's a diarrhea predominant IBS or a constipation predominant IBS. But also there's a narrow link with stress and IBS. So you also need to...
really?
Yeah.
So stress can also put those microbiomes completely out of sync. All right, Lize, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning, man. I hope that helped you in terms of a couple of tips, just to what you need to look out for, what IBS are all about, and how to take care of that microbiomes. Now, there is definitely no doubt there's a direct link that we put in our stomachs and our overall health. Now, Malcosan is a daily tonic which is rich in a substance called L+lactic acid, which supports the growth of healthy gut bacteria. Now, Malcosan assists us with common digestive problems by supporting healthy gut bacteria, promoting good digestion, and helps relieve IBS or digestive symptoms. It's important that we all take the time to take care of our health, starting from the inside out.
Digestive problems are increasing. A.Vogel's Malcosan is a Swiss daily digestive tonic that's high in L+lactic acid to support healthy gut bacteria.
Well, we're back with our medical expert, Dr. Darren Green, and we're talking about anemia this morning. If you suffer from it, if you struggle with it, don't you want to give us a call on 021-430-9881. But before we went to you and Dr. Darren Green, I wanted to know what would cause someone to have a low iron count.
Yeah, so the most common one, the most common cause of an iron shortage anemia are, unfortunately, in the female population, from having heavy menses. So if you have heavy menstruation that lasts either too many days or too heavy bleeding episodes, you lose a lot of blood and in that iron. Obviously, trauma and things like that, you lose a lot of blood too. And then pregnancy. In pregnancy, you also can have low iron, and that's because obviously the metabolic demand of iron in a growing fetus is so great. And then, of course, nutritional factors. So if you're not eating enough iron, you can be anemic. A lot of vegetarians, obviously, don't have anemia. They don't have to eat meat to have anemia. They get their iron from other sources, like your dark green leafy vegetables, for example. So that's quite important. And then there are conditions that like inherited conditions, where you don't make enough red cells, like aplastic anemia. Also conditions that destroy your red cells too quickly. Things like sickle cell anemia, or if you have a malignancy or cancer, etc. So quite a vast array of causes, but the most common being your diet, your menses, and then pregnancy.
And then when is, because you mentioned now a couple of symptoms earlier, when is a good time to go and see your doctor?
Yeah, I just remembered one other one, a GIT bleed. So ulcers, gastritis, and ulcers is another big one. You should see your doctor when you're feeling tired or fatigued. You develop shortness of breath, for example, that can't be explained by being simply unfit. And obviously looking for a more definitive cause. When your skin pallor is pale, and people say to you, "You're looking a bit pale compared to what you normally look like," a simple finger prick hemoglobin test can already start the process, and then you get a proper full blood count which looks at the more detailed components of the blood cells.
All right. Well, I wanted to know, are we getting all of the iron that we need from just the foods that we eat? I mean, you mentioned green leafy vegetables and meat as well, but do we need to take extra supplements to make sure that we're getting it? Because I know a lot of us aren't having, our diets aren't great, basically.
So you'd firstly have to know where you stand in terms of knowing what your levels are. So you get different forms of iron. We test the hemoglobin as a quick one. That's the finger prick, and that can give you an idea where you're at immediately. Then you'd obviously have to look and consider whether there's room for improvement in your diet or not. So depending on the cause of the anemia, you would then look at diet as a way of correcting it. Sometimes diet is simply not enough. If it's an ongoing problem, for example, where you're losing blood somewhere, you need to plug the hole. And that will help you then obviously correct the problem.
Okay.
But you do get chronic anemias as well associated with systemic illnesses like kidney disease, for example.
Okay.
And that's important to remember.
Thank you, Doctor. Well, we're going to have more with Dr. Darren Green, and perhaps, we're going to also talk about things to do if you're anemic and if you find yourself with a low iron count. But don't go anywhere. Our lines are open. That number is 021-430-9881.
Yeah, please call in if you've got any questions. Then feeding off our health discussion this morning, in the kitchen we're looking at recipes that restore the iron levels in your blood. How about some beautiful marinated kebabs? We're going to use some lamb for that one. Then today is also International Haemophilia Day. We're going to look at the relationship between anemia and haemophilia, if there is one. Indeed, Dr. Darren joins us for that discussion. So can you after the break.
For kids fighting a battle against cancer, even a little goes such a long way. Show them that, hey, we're here with you. Join us on Expresso Thursday the 26th of April for our special telethon to help secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home. All funds raised go towards a brand new Choc House, there for families and children bravely fighting cancer. So, join the Expresso telethon April 26th from 6:30 to 9 a.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we are still with Dr. Darren Green. Our lines are open as we talk about anemia. Are you perhaps anemic? We'd love to hear from you. If you've got a comment or a question, that number is 021-430-9881. Now, we currently have a caller online, Dr. Darren Green. Sumaya, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, what's your comment or question for Dr. Darren Green?
My son is 3 years old. He was diagnosed with anemia, but they gave him the medicine, the ferrous phosphorate or something, but every time I give it to him, he vomits it back up. Is there under any other method of iron supplement I can give him?
Thanks for the call.
Thank you. Thank you, Sumaya.
So he's been treated for an iron shortage or iron deficiency anemia with a supplemental ferrous sulfate.
Okay.
And that's like taking iron supplementation. You get tablets, you get syrup that's made. It often irritates the lining of the stomach because of the iron component. And you are advised to take it with orange juice, for example.
Okay.
You're advised to take it with your meals to minimize the gastric side effects. There is, however, hope. If the oral supplementation is not possible due to severe, reactions or adverse reactions to it, there is an intravenous form of iron supplementation that can be given, and that will be considered if they fail therapy on oral supplementation.
Okay, and she said her son is 3 years old.
3 years old, yeah.
Okay.
So the cause of his anemia obviously would be determined by his pediatrician looking at the different categories that we mentioned earlier on.
Okay, well, Sumaya, thank you so much for that call. I hope the doctor answered your question.
Good luck.
And doctor, earlier we were talking about, signs to look out for if you've got anemia,
yes.
What it's all about. But say I've got, an iron deficiency right now. What can I do to, fix it?
Yeah. So I think deciding on supplementation is right at the top of the list. If you do decide to take supplementation, be aware of the signs to look out for in terms of the side effects. Know about constipation. Know about your number 2s turning black.
Okay.
Don't get a fright when you see that.
Is that normal?
It's normal.
It's to be
you could
expected.
have altered bowel motion due to that. And then obviously with that, some nausea and sometimes even abdominal cramps can occur. But there are things you can do to minimize that, as I said, combine it with orange juice, because vitamin C facilitates the absorption of iron from the gut. Vitamin C, folic acid, and B12.
Fantastic. Now, I know that today is also World Hemophilia Day.
Indeed.
What exactly is that, and what's the connection between hemophilia and anemia?
Sure. So hemophilia is a clotting problem.
Yeah.
It's an inherited condition where you don't have, depending on which hemophilia type you have, A, B, or C, certain blood clotting factors.
Okay.
So that can help you plug holes when you start bleeding, like a simple tooth extraction, for example.
Yes.
So hemophilia is a condition where you then bleed profusely because of a lack of those clotting factors. Linked to anemia, because if you do bleed a lot and lose a lot of blood, you will become anemic. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dr. Darren Green, we're still going to have him for one more segment with us after this little break. But if you've got a comment or a question, give us a call. That number's 021 430 9881.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Right now, jumping into your feel-good Expresso kitchen. Now, nothing tastes better than lamb bright to juicy, succulent perfection. Perfect for weekend hangouts or even a light supper. These marinated lamb kebabs we're about to whip up are simple, very simple to whip up, but very, very tasty at that. And the best of all, this recipe ditches the processed ingredients used in store-bought dressings and uses a Clover Bliss double cream marinade. That is absolute magic. We're going to get started. Chef Tash, welcome back to your feel-good kitchen.
Yes,
Good. So lamb chops, I know it's only Tuesday, but you know what, this one, put this in, that's your little recipe book, and you can make this one for the weekend.
Yes.
How are we starting off?
We are starting off with our lemon. So remember, when you're squeezing your lemon, you need to take care of the pips so that they don't drop into your marinade.
All right.
So we're quickly going to do that. And as you know, our seasons are changing. So our flavors are becoming warmer and hotter. So we're using a lot of spices, warm spices, masala, turmeric, coriander, and some curry.
And I mean, those spices specifically go so well with lamb to flavour it as well.
Yes.
But I can definitely feel, if I take a look at the weather in the mornings, the temperatures are becoming cooler and cooler and cooler.
Yes,
it's not those high 30s that we are used to anymore, so we are definitely heading into the winter months right now.
Okay.
All right, so here we have our Clover Bliss double cream, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to pour our Clover Bliss and mix it. If you notice, we've left our lemons in there.
I see. I would love to ask you.
Yes, so that we have not. We've not done the lemon rind.
Oh, okay.
So we want to take advantage of the lemon skin.
The entire lemon.
Yes.
And of course the Clover Bliss double cream, it's a great way to get in a healthy snack as well, source of 10 vitamins. And you also get in different flavors. So you not only use it for marinating your lamb, you get strawberries and cream, there's black forest, choc chip and hazelnut. So check it out. Definitely better than, I would say, like a sugary chocolate maybe.
Definitely,
okay.
definitely.
Let me help you here.
I'm
just standing back and looking at you doing your thing. All
Please
right, cool.
mix that for me. Our skewers, we already have our lamb marinated overnight.
All right.
Our skewers have been soaked in water because if you do that, we are going to put them in our grill.
Yes.
So you don't want your skewers to burn.
That's
and
it. Same principle for the braai as well, which is great.
Yes.
All right, so now you just kind of skew it. So you leave the lamb in here for how long now, did you say?
You leave a lamb for a minimum of about an hour, but it's preferable that you do it overnight.
Okay.
Because the cultures in the yogurt, the acid is going to help break down the fat in the lamb, and it tenderizes your lamb, so you have very succulent lamb.
That's it, and you'll have a nice tender lamb kebab. So this is great. Do it on Friday night. Or no, you know what? If you're going to buy it tomorrow or this evening, do it right now. That's great. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. That's Clover to 33728.
Let's throw some lamb in there.
All right. Let me get that.
Our griddle is hot, piping hot. It has to be hot, so you don't want to be playing around with your meat. So you put it on your griddle, and it must burn.
It must
So
burn.
I'm waiting for that sizzle. We are looking for those zebra marks.
Yes, there we go. All right.
Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
Sizzle away. And while it sizzles away, remember that keyword, it is Clover to 33728. Clover to 33728 to get your hands on the ingredients list and also link to the recipe. And you can also go check it out on our website, expressoshow.com, a little bit later on today. But like I mentioned, it's going to be sizzling away. Let's take a look at those steps one more time.
With just a few ingredients, you can create an incredible dinner that's easy to make and delicious to serve with our Clover Bliss marinated lamb kebabs. For this recipe, you'll need 1 cup Clover Bliss double cream plain, 2 wooden skewers, fresh coriander, salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon curry powder, half a teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon roasted masala, half a teaspoon turmeric, 1 quartered lemon, 400 grams cubed lamb loin, and 3 to 4 naan breads. Squeeze the lemon juice into a large bowl. Add your Clover Bliss double cream plain flavor. Next, add curry powder, roasted masala, turmeric, and cumin. Season with salt and pepper. Add lamb cubes. And mix well to coat evenly. Cover in cling film. And marinate overnight. Skewer your marinated lamb pieces onto skewers. Cook on a grill for 5 to 6 minutes and turn when nicely charred. Allow to rest for 1 to 2 minutes before serving. Serve with naan bread and dollops of Clover Bliss double cream. Who says something delicious needs to be complicated? Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover. And listen to that sizzle going right there. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. So it's in the pan. So basically, if you're going to do that, you just have to wait for it, the proteins to kind of release, and then it'll start moving. So at the moment, it's still staying there. All right, we can now watch it. But Chef Tash, you serve it then with some naan breads, I see.
We serve it with some naan bread, as well as you can do a tsatsiki with your yogurt, but today, with your Clover Bliss.
Yeah.
Today we are just using the Clover Bliss, and we are using some salsa. So you can see that our flavors are going to be dancing in your mouth.
Yes.
The yogurt is going to lull down the curry and the masala because there's a little bit of heat there.
You need a little bit of heat when it comes to the lamb chops, the lamb kebabs. Thank you very much, Chef Tash. Once again, that keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728 and make this your braai recipe the next time you braai.
Indulge with Bliss Double Cream Yogurt. Made with love by Clover.
Time to connect with Dr. Darren Green one last time. Now, we've had a few callers call in this morning, and the question that a lot of people have been asking is with reference to dark circles under the eyes. Is there any connection to that and anemia?
Yeah,
being anemic?
You can have, because you're pale, generally in your pallor, you can see the darker circles a lot more easily, really. Yes. But the most common causes are lack of sleep, allergies, and genetic, in terms of looking at that. And also it depends on whether we're talking about on the top of the eyelids as well. Sometimes the capillaries have a genetic predisposition, obviously, for those colour changes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Doctor, we have a caller on the line. We have Lucky from Durban. Good morning.
Hi, morning, ma'am. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Do you have a comment or a question for Dr. Green?
Yes, dear. I just want to know, everything that doctor has mentioned this morning on TV, I'm experiencing every single symptom.
Wow.
Now, the only extra symptom I'm experiencing is that I've missed my period for the last 3 months.
Okay.
And I wonder if it's also to anemia.
If it's all?
Can you repeat that last part again? You're worried it's?
I'm worried about that I've missed mine monthly.
Okay.
For the
Yeah,
last
3
3
months. All right.
Okay.
All right, so
Yes.
first things first, one would look obviously and make sure that you're not pregnant if you've missed your normal menstruation. And that's
I'm
important.
definitely not. I've been to the doctor. I've had a scan done as well.
Okay.
Fantastic. So, I mean, important then, obviously, to go for the full blood count test, which would look then at the different components, the red cell count, the hemoglobin count, and so on, especially if you are feeling fatigued, tired, dizzy at times. There are many causes for some of those symptoms that are not related to anemia as well. So one would look at things like your blood pressure, your sugar, your iron levels, etc., and have a decent physical examination first. And certainly, if you're feeling those symptoms, I'd suggest you see your practitioner.
Okay. Thank you for that call, Lucky. Now, Doctor, we've spoke about, what to do if you now find yourself anemic, but is it possible for you to, have too much? Like if you
overload.
Overload of
Yes,
iron?
you can get overload of iron. That's the specific name is hemochromatosis.
Okay.
So there's a genetic condition where if you have the gene from both parents, you actually can store too much iron. And the different forms of iron floating around in the body, you get ferritin, which we measure as a measure of your iron stores, an indirect measure, and then transferrin. And that's another protein that carries the iron to the liver, to the spleen, and to the bone marrow. And we can measure both of those substances to give us an idea what the cause of your iron shortage is.
Very quickly, what are some of the healthy lifestyle adaptations we can make to make sure that we regulate our iron levels?
Yeah, I think so. A lot more green, dark green leafy vegetables.
Okay.
Get that into your diet. If you are eating meat, obviously look at the amount of meat you're eating. And then, of course, obviously looking at your family history.
Yes.
If you have heavy menses, do something about them. Don't just leave it and get weaker and more tired and more dizzy over time.
Yes.
So if there's a source of you losing blood anywhere in your body, and if you see dark black stools, go and ask your doctor about it.
Okay. Well, Dr. Darren Green, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And
Thank
to
you.
each and every caller that called, thank you so much for participating. We'll be back with the doctor again next week.
Thank you so much for that very interesting discussion. And of course, it's crunch time now in Tropika, Island of Treasure in the Maldives. Hashtag TIOT8. Team Yellow doing so well in their bounty challenge last night. One half of that team, Rudi, now joins us this morning to chat a bit about that. Then we're looking at ways of building confidence within women, a fantastic new initiative. We'll bring you that after the break.
Step into the spotlight as South Africa's next TV superstar with Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe.
Own the SABC3 stage as the newest host of top billing Afternoon Express or the Expresso Morning Show.
This is your last chance to be found on 3 at the Johannesburg auditions taking place on the 20th, 21st and 22nd of April at the Wanderers Cricket Stadium.
Visit presentersearchon3.com for more details.
With SABC3,
the stage is yours.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. Now, before we get into our international entertainment news, we have our performer Marcé with us on the couch. So we're going to get into our international entertainment news. Lee's going to tell us what's hot and happening in the world of Hollywood.
Exactly. I just want to give 5 fingers for Marcé. See what I did there? See what I did there? 5 fingers for Marcé. Okay, moving along swiftly. Now, apart from all of the fashion and music highlights Coachella offered us, the annual event dishes on some celebs, and we are having all of it. Okay, so TMZ reported that Justin Bieber punched a guy in the face and threw him against a wall after the man, wait for this, grabbed a woman by the throat at a Coachella party and would not release his grip on her. However, that man did get arrested because no incident like this was reported. And I don't know, I just think that...
well done to Bieber for stepping in.
Exactly.
I want to say it.
This is not any of them being punched, though. This is them taking a little bit of a rest session. So is this sticking to the brand that Justin has painted for himself now, or is this a bit of the old Justin we're seeing? I don't think so. I think when you stick up for a woman who is being treated or mishandled in that kind of way, I think that that's wonderful.
Well
but then
done.
they say
I
no,
would love
it
to
wasn't reported. So anyways, we're moving on swiftly. In other news, there is Beychella, as in Beyonce Chella. And then there's also Beychella, before anybody else Chella. And Leonardo DiCaprio partook in the latter, the Beychella, because he had his new rumored GF girlfriend, Camilla Moroni, glued to his hip on Sunday night at the music festival. Now DiCaprio tried to go incognito. Yes, he tried to go incognito as if he could to the VIP section in a black hoodie, but it's not hard to spot him. Like, come on, just look at the dude with the models, and then of course Camilla just hanging on to him and making sure that nobody comes close to my man but me. But listen, like, hoodie, Nick. Do you think it's even possible for somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio, Marcé, to walk into a place like that and go incognito? I mean,
no. I mean, people are going to recognize him. And they're going to be like, take that hoodie off.
Exactly.
And the glasses. You're just making yourself look more suspicious.
I don't understand why celebrities do this. They'll walk into a venue with dark glasses, but you're the only one with glasses on.
And
no one's going to recognize you.
And it's nighttime. Of course they're going to look at you weird.
Maybe they're hiding a hangover. I don't know. Who knows?
Stop. Oh, and also I have to just let everybody know that Kardashian baby number 9, Khloe Kardashian, has revealed the name of her baby with Tristan Thompson. It is True. Thompson. True. That's true. I think Tristan needs to speak more truths in his life. Just saying.
There was some serious shade.
True without the E.
It's true what you say, Leah. It's so true.
All true. Listen, let's focus on something rather exciting right now. In a race to win the last Bounty Award of the season, the teams of Tropika Island of Treasure went head to head. And at the end, it was yet again Team Yellow who claimed victory and that last bounty and decided to take Team Red with them, giving Team White the cold shoulder. Now, in studio to chat to us about why they decided to do this, Rudi Witkowsky. Brother man, how are you doing, man?
Thank you for having me, Graham.
Does it make you nervous when we talk about these challenges, Lucas?
Firstly, I have to correct you. It's Team Yellow.
Yellow. I'm going to ask you about the naming of the team. But first thing, the thing that really jumps out for me is, have you guys won every challenge? Maybe there's one that you haven't won.
We're just on a roll now. Since that turning point challenge after Nay almost collapsed, we've just been hitting it and fine. I think we're just working together now. Because before that we were just losing. Now we're just going and just dominating. So our confidence is sky high right now.
Well, that's good, man. But last night was grueling. All right, we could see that the teams, they were pulling heavy. But you guys seem to hold it down. I mean, what were some of your personal challenges, and also you and your team?
You there, man.
Was there anything that you felt like, okay, wait, hang on, I really need to bring my A game on this one because this is tough?
It's quite difficult, when you go into these challenges right now because you're winning everything, so you kind of you think you're going to win the next one and the next one. So we almost more relaxed and just relaxed, chilled out at the moment and just going and having a lot of fun. As you could see the last challenge last night, we're just having fun with the general knowledge thing and
maybe
just laughing at it.
Maybe that's a secret here, man.
We were joking, asking what is maths, what is geography. I think you would still actually do all right in that, man. So when we get down to the nitty-gritty, it all boils down to, yes, winning a bounty, but it's also making a decision about which team to take with you. And you gave Team White the cold shoulder. They're like the vengeance team, dude. What was the
Cats and Nine
rationale
Lives.
there? Yeah, what motivated that decision?
There's a lot of commotion. There was a lot of commotion around that. The main motivation for that was the fact that Team Red had won no challenges throughout that day. They had lost every single challenge. I know you might say that Team White never won a bounty or they've been in every single elimination, but they were smiling. They had a lot of confidence on the day.
They've also won every elimination.
Yeah, they've been every single elimination.
Exactly.
So I mean, we just felt maybe it's fair the fact that Team Red never won on the day.
So you're just a nice guy.
We tried.
You're the nice guy, the nice team. Okay, let's talk about.
Hopefully they don't forget because they took us out in that general knowledge question twice.
Look, man, well, we're very excited to see what is going to be unfolding as well, because you guys are also a strong force to be reckoned with. But Team Yellow, what's the deal? Yebo Team Yellow. Hey, I almost feel like when you say that, it's like, did I miss the color?
Was it too much sun or what happened, man?
We just needed some extra spark in the name or something, and we just didn't want to be Team Yellow, and they said, let's go with yellow. And then we thought we'll leave out the W. That's how we got to yellow. And we first started with yebo, and then we're like, no, we're getting over this. We need to add something new, and like
some island spice.
Spice and sauce.
Oh, buddy, I said it to you this morning when you walked in here. You look like $1 million, but we won't know until we know, man. So cool to have you join us. I'm sure you guys have your favorites as well, so make sure that you catch up when you can. If you missed out on last night's Brooding episode, you should have watched the repeat, of course, this coming Saturday, 3 p.m. right here on 3. Or even easier, you can head over to Tropika's YouTube page where you will find the full episode.
That's right. And also, don't forget, you can also stand a chance of winning when you buy Tropika. Follow the entry details on the bottle and you could stand a chance to win loot.co.za vouchers to shop online. There's American Tourister luggage up for grabs, Daniel Klein watches, airtime, or the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. Remember, T's and C's do apply. You can find them on the website tropika.co.za.
Yellow.
Well, fashion is fun and it's a great way to express yourself, but what's not fun is getting deodorant marks and stains on your clothing. Now, the renowned Dove brand, they have the perfect solution, and they had an ingenious way of showing South Africans just about it.
What better setting to show the effectiveness of Dove Invisible Dry Deodorant than SA Fashion Week and a collection by a designer at the leading edge of glamour, Ryan Keys. There on this inspired night for her brand was Vanessa Mungo.
Dove created Dove Invisible Dry, which is a variant that's proven to leave no white marks on 100 colors. So we thought we want to put it to the ultimate test by partnering with a designer who's not afraid to experiment with color, and Ryan Keys was that designer.
Talking about color, Vanessa, how does it play a part in today's busy world, and how does color evoke mood and emotion?
Color is a very powerful tool because different colors evoke different moods and emotions. You can wear one color and feel calm and at ease. You wear another color and you feel optimistic and positive. Look at me, I'm wearing black today and it's like has a little bit of mystery. And we know that color is also used to show a little bit of your personality, so it's very powerful.
The collection stood out for dramatic numbers in a palette ranging from silver and Arctic white to shimmering golds. Ryan's passion is to satisfy South Africa's ever-increasing appetite for exquisite, stylish garments at the peak of craftsmanship.
So with me is the man of the moment, Ryan Keys. Congratulations on a brilliant show and a brilliant collection. But I want to know, when did your love for fashion begin?
So it started when I was very, very young. I started dressing my mother and started showing her exactly what she should be wearing and for specific occasions. And from that, I actually studied photography. And then I thought, you know, I must study fashion or whatever, because I also started making the things that I was shooting. And then from there, I mean, here I am today. So with this collection, it was inspired by the Maldives. It was absolutely everything from the trinkle across the water in the morning and the evening, sunset, sunrise. It was the opulence. It was all of that, almost like Great Gatsby sort of feel. The collaboration between me and Dove at the moment is absolutely incredible. You know what? I've never believed in a product so much in my life. I mean, usually with it, a product, they claim all of these different things. But with it, I mean, literally, I've sprayed every single dress. I held it on the dresses. It doesn't leave the mark. So, I mean, I would recommend it to anyone. I'd recommend it to my clients, to anyone that has a special occasion and that actually wants to look amazing, feel incredible, and want to wear any color.
Dove Invisible Dry's brand ambassador also endorses this deodorant for offering 48-hour protection and its quarter moisturizing cream for soft, beautiful underarms.
So, okay, Naomi, how has Dove Invisible Dry helped you prepare for SA Fashion Week today and kept you dry throughout the day?
I think it's helped me in various ways because I'm very active. I mean, I have gym in the morning and then I have to run around and prep for the show, and I still need to dress up and look good. So the 48 hours has really helped in so many ways, and I can get home and be like, okay, cool, let me just change and show up and look good.
And what is it about this partnership that makes it so appealing to you?
I've had a lot of issues with finding the right underarm product. I've been going through every brand and nothing's worked. And here's Dove. I've tried it. It's made me really happy. And in a way, my confidence levels were really low because if you don't feel good, you're not going to look good and you're not going to be the best that you can be.
Talking about looking good, you look absolutely stunning tonight. And we do know that the Dove campaign is all about colors. Can you tell me more about what you're wearing?
Okay, so I'm wearing white. White is purity, it's sexy, it's classy, it's very timeless, which is a color that can go with anything else. And I know that Dove is also working with Keys and they're doing a 100 color challenge. So this is one of my colors that I think Dove works with. It doesn't stain. I've sprayed it on, there were no stains, and this is my color. And this is what I came with, a simple look, a very classic look, a very timeless look.
I am wearing Ryan Keys. It's a black number. It's really nice. It's sheer. Put on. I styled it a bit differently with my braids and my beads, but just adding personality to any outfit, I think, and carrying it well. So I love this dress.
Can you tell me how Dove Invisible Dry has helped you prepare for SA Fashion Week and kept you dry throughout the day?
So I came from a busy day at work, as everyone does on a Friday, and I think it just made things easy and really seamless. So I could just get in, really just change, put on my Invisible Dry and get ready.
And how do you think Dove Invisible Dry has given you confidence, and how do you think it will help other ladies out there?
If you feel, I think also speaking out or being comfortable with the things that are usually taboo or uncomfortable. So I think it's made me comfortable with, really taking care of my armpit and hygiene, and that makes me confident. And I think will make other women confident as well.
Pardon? It's going to leave like white marks.
Nothing is happening. I don't see any white marks.
What's in here?
Oh.
Invisible Dry.
Tested on 100 colors.
You had me on Liam Neeson. Mark Felt, we're going to go inside, I think, one of the most dramatic real-life stories ever to unfold. The story of Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, of course. I'm talking about Watergate. Dude, Mark Felt, what is this movie about before we get a sneak peek?
Couldn't be more prescient, could it? So, the FBI and the White House at odds with each other. The story being that Mark Felt was a loyal FBI agent for 30 years, obviously here played by Liam Neeson. And he was totally committed to just the form, the meaning of being an FBI agent, didn't care which government will happen to be serving, and obviously Watergate comes along, which is where the GOP decided to bug the Democratic officers before elections, which is
Sound familiar?
Totally illegal. And then obviously he gets asked who he's loyal to when Nixon is in the White House, one of the worst statesmen we've seen in human history. And is determined then to keep this institution in the shape it is, with the integrity that he believes it has, even though it's quite ambiguous, and becomes the famous leaker of Watergate.
Otherwise known as Deep Throat.
Deep Throat, yes, was his name in the press, who he leaked to, like you said, Bob Woodward and whatnot.
Does he have the chops? Can we see? Have you got a sneak peek for us?
Yeah, so what I want to show you, actually, and I suppose, this, like I said, this is prescient, this is pertinent, given Trump and whatnot. Yeah. A clip where the new acting head of the FBI, because J. Edgar Hoover had just died, is being interrogated by Liam Neeson about where his loyalties lie between the White House and between the FBI. Let's take a look.
What's John Dean doing here in this building? This is a remarkable amount of information about the break-in. We're still gathering string. This is just the beginning. Okay. First of all, no more interviews with White House or CIA people without permission. What? Whose permission? Give us a minute. Get out. The FBI is an independent body. I'm aware of that. Are you also aware that means we don't need permission to do anything from anybody? You give that up just one time, you don't ever get it back. Ever. Let's not get dramatic. We don't even know what this is. That's right. We don't. But we're going to find out. That's what we do. You don't work for them. You're the director of the FBI now.
So the first thing that leaps off the page for me, Diane Lane, I mean, the backup cast, they've come with some gravitas here.
You noticed immediately, you said that this is an excellent cast they've got, and it's a great crop of actors. You really can't go wrong, and they all do very well with what, unfortunately, at times, for a lot of these characters, is quite a one-note kind of tone that is written.
Because we all know what happened.
There's the other thing, though. So with hindsight, it's unfair. I'm just like, okay, like try and jump off the page at me and surprise me and whatnot. But no, Liam Neeson does interestingly well to at least let on how his hypocrisy at being a leaker, at being illegal, at being, against his own system that he's trying to protect. So, being a whistleblower so that he can protect the FBI the way he likes to see it. You can see that hypocrisy grinding away at him very slowly and very delicately. He's such a good actor for that.
Yeah, I mean, was it the Post, or we've had political dramas like this where they've tried to use a past story to tell a modern narrative. And does this get that right? Do you kind of feel like...
I think much better than the Post, in fact, which, like I said, was way too convenient. Everything was... at least there's a sense of tension. There's a sense of danger. Like not all information is laid out for you on the table. It's not just a buffet. Just where the light recedes, that's where the stakes are, kind of thing.
Everything that you say, I'm just noticing you put another popcorn in, another popcorn in. How many popcorns, big guy?
Unfortunately, it's not the one that's going to get him impeached. But it's at least a very well acted. Story, so 6.5 out of 10.
6.5, that's pretty liberal, very pretty liberal. I love that. But you can go and judge for yourself. Mark Felt starring Liam Neeson and Diane Lane. Then a little bit later, we're going to terrify you again. The Strangers Pray at Night.
Well, you're just in time. We're taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. When we get back, it is Travel Tuesday, and we'll take a look at all of those destinations that have inspired some great poets. And then, of course, you're also in time for a performance from Marcé Underwood. That's coming up after the break.
One, two. Here we go. And this is our own version of George Gershwin's Summertime. Woo! Oh, come on!
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for tuning in as we enter the final hour of the show this morning, preparing for another brilliant performance from Marcé Underwood, sounding sultry and just too talented. But right now, let's bring you up to speed with the latest news headlines.
In the national news this morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa announced yesterday evening that South Africa would host a major investment conference later this year, which would aim to raise over 1 trillion rand in new investments over 5 years. He was speaking at OR Tambo International Airport before leaving for a Commonwealth Heads of State meeting in London. He also announced his decision to appoint 4 special envoys on investment, namely Trevor Manuel, Mcebisi Jonas, Jacques Marie and Phumzile Langeni, to travel across the world and approach would-be investors to encourage investment in South Africa. The Gupta's family properties are now under curatorship after the National Prosecuting Authority obtained a restraining order in Bloemfontein High Court. The curator visited the Saxonwold Gupta compound in Johannesburg and is also expected to attach more properties totaling some 250 million rand. The family and their businesses have been implicated in the Estina dairy farm theft and money laundering case. The farm is near Vrede in the Free State. Now moving further abroad, state-sponsored Russian hackers are actively seeking to hijack essential internet hardware, US and UK intelligence agencies say. The UK's National Cybersecurity Centre, the FBI and the US Department of Homeland Security have issued a joint alert warning of a global campaign. The alert details methods used to compromise the networking equipment utilised to move traffic across the net. During a media conference on the alert, White House Cybersecurity Coordinator Rob Joyce said the US and its allies had high confidence that Russia was behind the broad campaign. And then finally, President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria will meet President Donald Trump in Washington on April the 30th to discuss issues including fighting terrorism and economic growth. The White House said in a statement that President Trump is looking forward to discussing ways of enhancing their strategic partnership and advancing shared priorities such as promoting economic growth and reforms, fighting terrorism and other threats to peace and security, and building on Nigeria's role as a democratic leader in the region. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport. Graham has the details.
So let's kick it off with football this morning and keep it local. First, Mamelodi Sundowns. They can take a giant step towards this season's PSL crown if they beat Golden Arrows in Pretoria tonight. Sundowns will be the more confident side, certainly ahead of the match, having already beaten Arrows in December's reverse fixture. They secured a 1-0 win in that fixture in Durbs. Tonight's game gets underway at Loftus at 7:30. Then a little further afield, of course, with the Premiership title wrapped up, we turn to the bottom end of the table, and Stoke City's Premier League relegation battle received a major blow last night as they drew 1-1 with West Ham in London. The result leaves Stoke in a pretty tough position with 4 games to play. The Potters lie second last on the table with just 28 points, 5 points from safety. There's some midweek EPL action on the cards tonight as Brighton host Tottenham Hotspur, and that kickoff is at 9:15 South African time. In a massive night locally in rugby, Marties were crowned 2018 Varsity Cup champions last night, and they did it in style, beating Puka by 40 points to 7 in Stellenbosch. In their third consecutive final, the team from Sellies led from start to finish in a dominant performance to claim their 4th title overall, first in 7 years. And also in action yesterday, CUT beat Walter Sisulu University by 37 points to 31 in a nail-biter in that Varsity Cup promotion relegation playoff. So we tip our hats to them as well. Then finally, in tennis, certainly on the comeback trail, there were no problems for Novak Djokovic at the Monte Carlo Masters yesterday as he brushed aside qualifier Dusan Lajovic in straight sets. The former world number 1 made light work of Lajovic, wrapping up the 6-love 6-1 in less than an hour to set up a round 2 clash with Croatia's Borna Koric. Elsewhere, Milos Raonic and Kame Shikori, they both claimed opening round victories as well. And that's where we leave our sport for this morning.
Well, let's take one final look at your roads. And in terms of the nationwide bus strike that's set to start tomorrow, at least 80% of the country's passenger buses will be on lockdown over pay dispute. So please make alternative arrangements for tomorrow. Then with your traffic in Gauteng and Boysens at the moment, there's severe delays of up to 32 minutes on the M1 northbound. That's between the Golden Highway and Carr Street with an average speed of 10 kilometers an hour. And that's where I leave your roads on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Cirrus Water, the future of sustainable water.
Right, it's just after 8 o'clock. Let's quickly take a last look at your weather and your temperatures. And it looks like some rain is expected for the central interior parts of South Africa. Then cooler conditions for the northeastern parts and warmer along the coastal areas. Your temperatures for the last time. Polokwane, 12 minimum with a mild maximum of 24 degrees. Mbombela, 14, 27. Pretoria, 14, 22. Johannesburg, 12, 21. Mahikeng, 13, 22 with some thunder showers expected. Klerksdorp, 13, 22. Some thunder showers for Kimberley today, starting off on 13 and a cool maximum of 19. Bloemfontein also on the cooler side, 10 minimum with a maximum 18 and some thunder showers expected for your Tuesday. Richards Bay, 19, 28. Pietermaritzburg, 15, 26. Durban, 20 and a high of 26. Mthatha starting off on 13, reaching a high of 26 degrees as well with some thunder showers expected. East London, 18, 26. Cradock, 11 with a maximum 23 degrees. Port Elizabeth this morning, 15, reaching a high of 27 degrees. George, 14, 28. Sutherland, 10 minimum with a maximum 23. Cape Town, 15, 23 as well. Worcester, 14, 29. Springbok, 11, 26. And Uppington can expect some thunder showers and starting off on a minimum of 14, reaching a high of 26 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for your Tuesday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh, let me tell you, this jingle gives me life, eh? Absolutely, because we know that every day millions of people celebrate their birthdays all over the world. So as we welcome today, the 17th of April, happy birthday to you. We need to take a moment to see which celebrities and you are celebrating their birthdays.
That's right. We're going to start it off with American actress Jennifer Garner, and she's famous for her role in CIA as the CIA officer Sydney Bristow, and the hit show's Ally celebrates her birthday today. Now, Jennifer Garner, who finalized her split from her ex-husband Ben Affleck last week, has been seen keeping busy with her kids and been keeping a very low profile.
That's right, but we absolutely love her. Happy birthday. And then former singer turned fashion designer Victoria Beckham also celebrates her birthday today. Now, the former singer rose to fame as Posh Spice in the all-girl pop group Spice Girls. And then, of course, since the group's disbandment in 2000, Victoria saw a success, or a little bit of a success, as a solo singer with 4 top UK hits. And then, of course, she went on to build a fashion empire. And in a recent interview with James Corden, she denied the rumors that she would be designing Meghan Markle's wedding dress for the upcoming royal wedding, but that she would definitely say that her and her husband might be in attendance. So I'll take it. You know, you might not be designing the dress, but you're there.
But
That's
rumor has it that the Spice Girls will be reuniting for the royal wedding. That's the rumor.
Let me tell you,
That's
colours
the
of the
rumor.
world, spice up your life. Oh, it's colours, not colours. I thought that song was written for
But
me.
of course, we want to wish you a happy birthday too. And one of our lucky viewers, it is Estelle Phillips. She's turning 50 today, as well as Solomon Tumuleng Sima III. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, everybody. Well, that is our bite-sized dose of birthdays today. Remember, you can share your birthday or that of someone you love on our Expresso Facebook platforms, but use that hashtag and at us at Expresso Show.
Oh, that was fun. Little jive session with Marcé Underwood, who joins us right now with Project Escape. How the gentleman. Listen, you want to stay tuned for this performance. She is absolutely amazing. Not only is she a full-time working single mom, but she has her music career on the side, which I'm hopefully is going to blow up soon because you are phenomenal. You are phenomenal. We're going to chat about what you have got planned, but first, let's hear you sing. It's summertime. Here we go.
Here we go. This is our own rendition of George Gershwin's Summertime.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the curtain is high.
to the sky. But until that morning, nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing by. Give it to us, Justin. There we go. Come on, Shuan. Woo! Woo! Here we go. For Mr. Bass himself. Isn't that just sexy? This is Project Escape. Here we go. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your dad is rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, and don't you cry. One of those mornings you're gonna rise up singing. Oh, you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But until that morning, you're gonna rise up singing, with Daddy and Mammy standing by. Summertime, and the living is easy. Yeah.
Man, the living is easy right now.
Oh, yeah.
The living is easy. Well done, gents. Absolutely phenomenal. Why haven't we seen you sooner?
I know.
Where were
I've been
you?
in the darkness, just hiding away.
Well, step into the
practicing.
light, shall you? Please, man.
I will.
Listen, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank
Listen,
you.
we want to see more of you. South Africa want to see more of you. The world wants to see more of you. Where can they do so?
So we have a few gigs lined up next month, the 13th and the 15th of May at Key 4 in the Waterfront. But please like my page, Marcé Underwood, on Facebook, and we'll let you guys know about all the gigs, all the happenings with the band.
Please, man, please, we need to do that. Where did this all start for you, your musical journey? Because, of course, you've kept busy, you're a businesswoman as well, in corporate, taking care of your little one as well at home. Where did all of this happen?
I started studying music at UCT, so I did an opera performance diploma. And that was kind of like the split. You know, you walk into that, into the faculty and you see classical music, you see jazz, you just see fusions happening and you want to be a part of it. And I got all the, you know, the good, nice jazz gigs at one point. So I was like, let me go for it, let me go.
You are here now, you're serving up some serious flames. Don't miss her last bonus performance a little bit later on this morning. Check her out on social media as well. Let us know on our social media pages what you thought about Marcé Underwood's performance. We'll be back after the break.
Thank you.
Make the upcoming long weekends a #strong weekend by enjoying all that Protea Hotels by Marriott has to offer. Whether you're living it up, quieting down, or spending times with those that mean the most to you. If you book your accommodation a minimum of 7 days in advance, you can get up to 30% off your stay. So, whatever your idea of a #strong weekend may be, make it count with Protea Hotels by Marriott. T's and C's apply. Visit protea.marriott.com today.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love to have you join us. So it's April, which is International Poetry Month.
I love
So what do you get
Poetry
when you combine that with a Travel Tuesday? Well, how about the top 5 destinations you need to visit if you're a love of poetry? It might have been those places that inspired the poets themselves, or maybe the little towns where the poets themselves actually grew up. But by the end of this, we are going to add a few more places to your travel bucket list this morning. Let's start with one of the greatest poets of any era.
Exactly, William Wordsworth. Now, he was an English romantic poet who helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature. Now, he wrote the university-loved poem known as Daffodils after a walk through the Lake District with his sister. Now, the Lake District is a mountainous region that's surrounded by lakes and forests, and it's the perfect place to visit if you love nature and you love walks and you want a little peace and quiet in this majestic scenery.
You might never have ever been creative until he stepped into this place and suddenly, boom. Absolutely love that. Then let's head a little bit further north, shall we? Poet Laureate and National Poet of Scotland, Liz Lockhead, was born and raised in a very small mining village in Lancashire, which was inspired to write poetry as a child. To visit Lancashire will afford you a picturesque view of the Scottish lowlands, as well as stunning vistas across the loch. How beautiful is that?
Well, another place to visit is the bustling New York City, birthplace to the transcendentalist poet Walt Whitman. Now, like the city itself, Whitman's poetry is very gritty, it's very real, and what better place to be inspired than a visit to the city that is famous for its writing. Now, writers and readers alike will enjoy a host of independently owned bookstores and an amalgamation of natural and man-made scenery to get your creative juices flowing.
It's amazing to me how these places tie so much into the kind of writing, the style that emerges with each poet. I love that. So let's take you now to Japan, where Yosa Buson is a pioneer in Japanese art of haiku. Buson was known for his travels throughout Japan, but his voyage to the Isle of Shikoku is what inspired his most beautiful works. Shikoku is home to around 88 Buddhist temples and is rich in natural wonders as well. As you can see, you can retrace Buson's steps and wander the temple route and get inspired. It looks magical, man.
I know, and then just when you thought, or maybe we're getting worried, what about William Shakespeare? Let's go to the place where he was born, raised, and spent the entirety of his life. We're talking about Stratford-upon-Avon. Although it is a small town that's not really marvelous, you will find historical museums that allow you to learn more about the bard, and of course it's the best way to experience Stratford, as Shakespeare himself would have us visit the Garrick pub, which dates back to 1400. And don't forget, you have to take a stroll across the ancient Clopton Bridge.
Oh man, so hopefully that's inspired you to go out there and explore this beautiful world with a poet's eyes on our Travel Tuesday.
Thank you, guys. Now on to something rather inspirational on your Tuesday morning. South Africa's #1 appliance brand, Defy, has embarked on a historic campaign partnering with FC Barcelona. Now, in conjunction with former South African defender Jimmy Tau, Defy plans to change the lives of 3 local learners through their Future Legends initiative by giving talented players the opportunity to visit FC Barcelona and meet the team.
First and foremost, I must say I'm very honored and privileged to be part of the DeFi and FC Barcelona partnership. In a program where I was then headhunted to address the program in terms of being able to scout for players. It's a program that's going to run for 3 months, where we'll be going around 3 different provinces on scouting programs, conducting clinics, coaching sessions, and at the same time being able to then try and identify 3 potential players that we can hopefully take on this program. The selection program, how it's actually going to roll out is we're going to have a 2-day trial. We're going to have schools playing against each other, and in the process of that, we'll then be identifying 1 player that stands out, and that will also apply on the other 2 provinces that we'll be visiting. So all in all, we'll have 3 players who will have gone through a trial program of 2 days, and on the final day we'll then get to select the 3 players. How this campaign involves the Jimmy Tau Foundation. 1, it speaks to a common goal. It speaks to how then do we make a difference in our communities that we operate in. And I'm very honored to have partnered with DeFi on this program, because I believe that we share the same objectives. We share the same strategy, which is empowering the youth, empowering the kids. And this program for me speaks to that. It's a program that I'm very excited to be part of, and I'm very honored to have partnered with DeFi on this program. And hopefully we'll be able to make a difference in the kids that we're going to identify, and hopefully give them an opportunity to a breakthrough in an interest where they've got really desire to participate in sports and soccer in particular. Look, I think the selection criteria would apply to technique, to skill, to discipline, to talent. But most importantly is to give the young child an opportunity that might not have come their way. And hence for me, the partnership with DeFi becomes very much key, because it then gives the youngsters an opportunity to experience and also apply their talent, and hopefully get an opportunity to apply their talent and their trade somewhere else. The advice that I can give to an aspiring youngster who wants to pursue football as a career, for me, what is key is to pursue their studies first, because I believe that education is key. It's a foundation for each and every individual that would want to take going into the future that is uncertain, just as much as football is uncertain. It's a very short-lived career, and at any given time it can come to an end. Sometimes you might not even get the breakthrough to turn professional, but at least you'd have something to fall back. In this case, you'll have a credible qualification based on your academic qualifications. And for me, it's to encourage them to then apply both, be able to drive your academic progress, and at the same time pursue your talent, which is football in this case, so that either or that does not come through, you are then able to fall back on the other one.
Well, it really is a fantastic campaign, but it doesn't stop there. For your chance to win a limited edition Barcelona FC branded Defy bar fridge to the value of 5,000 Rand, all you need to do is tell us which Barcelona FC player you would love to meet and why. It's as easy as that. Then you can let us know on Expresso's Facebook page, and like the Defy Facebook page as well while you're at it. Now, terms and conditions can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
Well, it's that time of the week again, time for our regular Tuesday travel guessing game. Yes, we are going around the world with our Guess Where in the World game. Now, if you are a traveler or a geography lover, then this one is definitely for you. All you have to do is listen to the clues that we're going to give you, then head to our social media pages. You can go to Twitter or Facebook, use that hashtag Expresso Show, and let's see if you know where our mystery city is this morning.
And we also have some beautiful pictures for you. So our first clue this morning is we're looking for the name of an island in the town of the Baltic Sea, famous for its medieval architecture, its rich history and festivals. And in fact, this town is it's a fairly popular destination during the summer. It draws, the town draws in especially a very large number for the Medieval Week festival that's hosted annually in this town.
What makes this town also very interesting is that it holds a rich Viking and medieval trading history, and it is also listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Something else that's pretty interesting is it's home to a number of historic ruins that are a must-see if you are a visitor to this town. But most notable is the fact that the town wall, which surrounds the perimeter of the town, with 36 watchtowers and 3 main gates in various states of repair. So that is definitely something that adds to the je ne sais quoi and the uniqueness of this particular town.
And we have one more clue for you. Did you know that this town is one of the oldest and well-maintained medieval towns? Visitors can enjoy wandering peacefully through the maze of narrow cobblestone streets and, of course, taking in the architecture of this old town.
Stunning. So if you know where it is that we're talking about this morning, go to Twitter and Facebook, use that hashtag Expresso Show, and let us know where in the world have we traveled today.
Where in the world? Well, if there's one place you need to be at, it is Joburg, because I hope you are ready, Joburg. The best has definitely been saved for last, and the presenter search on 3 auditions brought to you by McCafe and Capitec are coming to you this weekend. Now, auditions will be taking place on Friday, Saturday and Sunday at the Wanderers Stadium, with the gates opening at 8 a.m. So make sure you get there early. Now, of course, Joburg is notorious for producing some of the best talent, and that's why 3 whole days have been dedicated headed to your city to find the new face of SABC3 to join us right here on Expresso, Afternoon Express or Top Billing. So make sure you get down there nice and early and be ready to impress the judges with a 15-second link that shows off your unbelievable talent. Now, for all the details on what you can expect on the day, you can just visit the website Presenter Search on3.com. We'll see you there.
Wow, I'm starting to feel like a bit of a third wheel here. It seems that our Amy and our Rudi here go way back. Being as healthy as they are, I can certainly understand that. Amy rushes in with another very healthy, we're going to call it a healthier option to a dessert. We're going to be making a yogurt parfait. Very, very zhuzh. Then, of course, JP Sebastian is back in the hot seat. We're going to talk about a brand new horror, Strangers Pray at Night. Ooh. Ooh.
What am I looking for in a presenter? I think first things first, you need to be very comfortable in front of the camera. In fact, you need to eat that camera up. You need to look like you were born with that camera in your face. If you look like you're doing stuff for camera, then you're the wrong person for the job. I think being a presenter in 2018, whether it's radio or TV, is you need vast general knowledge. You need to be able to improvise at all times. You need to be able to do an interview with zero knowledge of your subject, for instance. Social media, I feel, is also very important because that's where people consume you when you're not in front of the camera, when you're not in front of the microphone. So I think those tools are very important. Being a brand ambassador is realizing that you don't belong to yourself anymore, that every move that you make is under a microscope, but also understanding whom you're talking to. Knowing your audience is very important. Why would you want this gig? I think, why not? Why would you not want to be in front of the camera? Why would you not want to be on this stage that's SABC3 in the first place? If TV is what you love, then this is the perfect place to start. It might be a bit of a deep end for some, but you know, that's sometimes the best time to learn how to swim, when you're right in there. So join us, the stage is yours.
Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to sit down with our movie expert, the one, the only, JP Sebastian. And we're talking about a movie called These Strangers Pray at Night. I don't know how I feel about this movie, JP Sebastian.
Again, I think we should stop doing popcorn ratings because I would just use your face, because during the advertisement break there, you didn't notice it, but you're looking out at everyone like, please send help. You don't like this, do you?
I don't don't like it when they dress like this because the masks. They're already out to kill me, but like, why must the masks be like
to
this?
me, it's like being murdered sounds scary enough. It's like the
But
mask
why must
is
you
just
look like these people?
Just a freebie, and shame. Our camera person raises a good point. Steven says, well, you know, shame couldn't Sock Guy afford one of the good masks?
Okay, well, before JP tells us all about this incredible film, let's go and check out The Strangers Pray at Night.
Hello. 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 Mom. What do you want? Hello. Hello. Mom. Can you hear me? I need to report a murder. Hello. Can anyone hear me?
Okay, that's a problem. How two women gonna be scared of one person walking towards them and you could have fought her off?
I'm sure all of you at home were playing the guessing games too, but everyone in the studio was just like, swing the drawer at her face.
Throw something.
Throw the cell phone.
Throw something. Okay, so it's not pray as in pray help us, but it is and pray as in predator after victim. JP Sebastian, tell us more about this movie that I will not be watching.
It's a slasher flick. A family very sensibly, as American families do in horror movies, for whatever reason, go to an abandoned trailer park where they're going to have their holiday. It's foggy and misty on the night. It's perfect conditions for sure. Why would you do this though?
I don't understand.
You're like asking for it. So
Do you know
like
what I'm saying?
that's my policy with horror though. It's like if characters make stupid mistakes twice, you forgive them and you go, you nincompoop, and then you root for them again. But if I said nincompoop, yes, it's a modern word. Sorry, that was Graham on the other side, confused by my language. And if, however, your characters are doing the same stupid things, like, hey, let's split up, even though they're like murderers, plural, in this trailer park. Wife and daughter go back to the caravan where it's safe in like plywood walls with, as you saw, Murdery Girl there earlier. And then son and father will go investigate this scene that the daughter and son found. You're asking for it. So like by the fourth stupid decision, I'm just rooting for them to die.
Oh, wow.
It's like I'm watching the Murder Olympics. I'm like, do it, you idiots. You're asking for this, which is really wrong of me. But yeah, it's nothing you haven't seen before, slasher flick. Some stylish moments here and there and whatever, but totally forgettable. This was a cool scene.
Listen, JP, I never heard a word that you said. I'm so sorry. I was just so drawn in by what's currently on camera, but like, you don't mind, do you?
No, I'm fine. I mean,
this movie draws you in. How many
juxtaposition makes me look
popcorns
prettier.
do you give this movie?
Sorry, everyone. 3 out of 10. Like, please, end it all now.
Yes.
No, not worth it. Seriously, if you haven't seen A Quiet Place, maybe go see it a second time if you have. But yeah.
Because that got 7 popcorns more than this one. Thank you so much, JP Sebastian, for giving this one less popcorn than you did
Tarzan. Those were scary abs.
Well, Dwayne Johnson's back as a rock in a concrete jungle, and this is for the movie Rampage, bringing the beat down to city-destroying monsters with the help of his enlarged gorilla friend, George. Now, that's a lot of big to fit onto the big screens, but we're here to make sure that you are prepared for Rampage 2. Now, we're giving 5 of you lucky viewers the chance to win a Rampage swag hamper. It's packed with t-shirts, survival gadgets and gear, mugs and more, all to the value of 2,300 Rand. And to stand a chance of being Rampage ready, visit the Expresso Facebook page, find the competition post and share your funniest photo of you and a furry friend, be it your own pet or another animal ally. The competition will close today at 5 p.m. and those T's and C's can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com.
It's the first time Dwayne Johnson's been able to find a co-star that's actually bigger than him to star alongside. That was massive in the US. So, Rudi, Amy, love you guys.
Yes, so good to be here.
I know how much.
Yeah,
man.
It's been a long time since we last
So
met each other,
random.
but,
And I bet you've both gotten healthier since the last time you've seen
he trained me before his killer machine.
I know.
I actually spoke to Amy on the phone last night.
I'm nervous about coming on. I don't know what are you going to make. So obviously this morning we're having a lot of fun. We have got a delicious Clover Bliss double cream yogurt-based dairy snack.
That's
which
right.
says to me we are going to take desserts
100%.
and we're going to turn it around and make it
That's
something
right.
incredibly
So-
healthy. We're making a parfait.
Exactly. So this can be a lovely breakfast. It can be a dessert alternative. It's lovely and healthy because we've got our beautiful berries here, very high in antioxidants, great anti-inflammatory properties. We've got our lovely nuts. We've got some almonds, some cashews, some pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds or linseeds, as Rudi calls them. And that's all your good omega-3s and 6s. So basically we've got a whole lot of nutrients. We're going to pack them into this glass and just layer it up to make it look all pretty.
I mean, you've come from track practice this morning,
Yes,
okay? She's still like this energetic. But
I've got the endorphins.
You live it, dude. Every day you are one of the fittest, healthiest, most ripped dudes. You've seen him on Tropika. But this is like real life for you. You have to be conscious of living this way all the time.
Exactly. I'm so conscious of it now. I don't do a lot of meal preps as well. Like I know what's good for you, what's not good for you. But I do have a big sweet tooth at the same time. So you don't find it often, but behind
That's
the scenes...
why you were phoning Amy last night. You were like, make something sweet, please.
Yes, exactly.
Please.
That's why we have the raw honey here.
Yes. And raw honey is so good for you as well. It's a natural antibiotic, really. So
and that's the thing, I think it doesn't take long for your palate to adjust to these things. And people think that they're going to be kind of like doing away, but I find now, if you make that healthy shift, when you go back to just a bland, sweet thing, it actually doesn't taste as good. You know, you're getting a range of flavors.
But the key is also to add all kinds of textures. So I like having some crunch, some kind of softer stuff, some beautiful tartness that you also get from the berries. It's all about giving you the texture satisfaction as well as the flavor.
Textural
satisfaction. It provides so much flavor as well.
So if you're looking for that textural satisfaction this morning, the key word is breakfast to 33728. I know we could have made it dessert, but it's breakfast this morning. Breakfast to 33728. So now it's looking parfait-ish.
There we go.
It wouldn't be bad as a dessert, though.
Yeah,
100%,
totally
man.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can always just whip all of that into a smoothie. So it's a really versatile set of ingredients.
Where did the name parfait originate
I was going to ask Amy what makes a parfait a parfait.
It's the layering technique, so it looks all pretty like that.
I love it, man.
You see, healthy food can look so beautiful, can look nice. It's very inviting.
Yeah, well, and they do say you eat with your eyes. I would just say check your teeth before you go into that meeting. Whenever there's black seeds involved, just check your teeth, man. And a little bit of honey just to make it look amazing.
And this is actually such a cool thing to do with your kids as well. You can get them to play with all kinds of fruits and just layer them up in different bowls and glasses. And obviously the yogurt is very good for you as well, all those natural probiotics. So.
And it's a good substitute for sugar as well. So
yes.
I love
especially
it,
raw honey.
Yes. It's beautiful and antibacterial. Rudi, give us a taste there, bro.
I don't have to say anything with Rudi here.
I've got a Rudi-sized spoon for you, dude. Just get stuck in there, buddy.
As well, eh?
It's all about portion size.
Let me try this.
You went for all the honey.
How gorgeous is that?
And he's proper judging it. He's not going to be like, oh, that's great.
The balance of flavor.
The honey just perfectly balances it out. Like, so basically, perfect. You get that soft texture, the squishiness from the berries and the strawberries and the yogurt, all soft.
But the big question is, do you feel texturally satisfied? It looks like it. Guys, thank you so much. A healthy alternative to get your breakfast, to super up your dessert with a healthy spin. Absolutely love it.
Well, as you can see, we always think to add some yogurt to a breakfast smoothie or a dollop over a bowl of granola. But have you ever thought of using it to make a savory dip or even a marinade? Well, tune into Afternoon Express this Tuesday, and their cook-along team will take you through how to prepare a 3 creamy and authentic savory yogurt-based dairy snack dips and the ultimate marinade for lamb chops. It is perfect for any occasion, so don't miss Afternoon Express today. And that's where we leave it for now. We're going to take a very quick break. We'll see you in just a bit.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been talking so much with Mr. JP Sebastian before we get into our movie news that I haven't even looked at any of the movie news, so I have no idea what we're talking about, dude. But one thing I did pick up on while I was away, a big story and a tragic one at that. Oscar-winning director of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Milos Forman, dying at the age of 86.
Yeah, this is someone who's created masterpieces as well as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
With Jack Nicholson there, you can see the picture. Yeah.
I've cried every time I've watched. And I'm sure you guys have too. I doubt I need to remind you what that movie's about. He also did Amadeus and The People vs. Larry Flint. Won 2 Oscars. Well, that was for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and for Amadeus, that was Best Director. What this guy used to do is, take outcast people. McMurphy, for example. A small-time sort of crook who goes to... They shot the movie, by the way, in a real mental institution with real patients as extras. To tell the story of the little guy, or to tell the story of the marginalized, the outcast person in society. People who are obsessive or who are misunderstood, who during a time like it was Mozart was just thought of as a bit of a ditz, making pop music and whatnot. That's a storyteller that...
These are some of the greatest films of their era.
Yes, and people think, like Woody Harrelson maybe appeared to most people in the past couple of years for True Detective or whatever, but go watch The People vs. Larry Flint, and especially pertinent questions right now about freedom of speech and why are you okay with murdering thousands overseas in war, but
Edward Norton, also one of the longest monologues and single-shot monologues that you will see on film.
Courtney Love, he gave her the chance to be incredible, like not just a musician, but wow, an actress who is really underused. And Milos Forman, rest in peace.
So a really massive loss there, man. So let's bring you back to the here and now for Cannes Festival 2018, revealing contenders, exhibitors, including a new record for Africa,
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, you've got to eat your veg once in a while. Oh, sure, if you're going to be on the Black Panther tip still. So, even though it's number 2.
How very dare you.
I'm sorry. The Cannes Festival is coming up. That will be on the Brain Has Gone Flat. I think it's the 8th to the 19th of May, yes. But, so you've got to talk about the arty movies too, but I want to talk about Africa in specific. Yomedine is an Egyptian movie. Not entirely, but the director is at least Egyptian. All of these are collaborative projects. This is beautiful sort of coming-of-age story of a kid and a guy who are both living in a leper colony, take to the road and develop their cute little comedic story from there. Other than that, Rafiki from Kenya is a romance between 2 young ladies in a conservative society, and the other is a South African movie. Well, like I said, a collaboration called Die Stroopers, or The Harvesters, which I think we should look out for on the radar later in this year as well.
And this is a great way to get those fringe stories out there, because there's a massive platform.
Speaking of the outcast, speaking of the marginalized, like we were about Milos Forman, so got to support, the artistic movies too. But speaking of artistic movies,
why did I just get a tingle in my stomach when I took a look at this?
Because you were also a Shark Week addict, weren't you? At some point, you probably. The Meg is a movie that's been announced recently, starring Jason Statham, who I have a soft spot in my heart and in my brain for. Very soft-brained indeed. So a 70-foot shark
Kung Fu,
is... Statham is this dude who's a deep-sea rescue diver, and 10 years prior to these events, he's encountered the Megalodon, a shark that, like I said, is about 20 meters. It kills half his crew, and the world won't believe him that he saw it. And then 10 years later, lo and behold, the shark returns, and it's attacking the submersible that his wife is on, his ex-wife.
Well, that's a mistake that shark will never make again. I'm going to tell you that much.
Megalodon.
The Meg looks awesome, and you can go check out more little snippets of that 70-foot shark online as well. JP Sebastian, I love these little chats with you. Some amazing news coming out of the world of film.
Amy's like, no, thank you. I'll stick with Finding Nemo.
That's right.
Awesome stuff.
No 70-meter sharks with me, thank you,
no. It looks like a good movie, though. Jason Statham, come on, you got to like him. Yeah.
I mean... I don't know. Sharks.
Stick with Nemo. Stick with Nemo.
That big octopus as well, no?
Yeah. Let's get to our recipe. We're making some basic tzatziki right
That's
now.
right.
We're using, once again, our Clover Bliss double cream here.
Such a versatile double
yes,
cream.
We've been using it all morning. It's great. We've made these beautiful lamb kebabs, and there's some of them
That's
are
right.
done now as well.
And
Not
as you know,
really-
tzatziki and lamb are such a winning combination, especially if you do little lamb mince balls or you're making kind of a layered pizza. It's divine.
That's it.
Tzatziki is such a great healthy dip as well. So if you've got kind of any crudités or anything, your carrots and things, you can just dip it in. And it's really simple to make. As you can see, we've got some grated cucumber over here.
Yep.
We've got some red wine vinegar, some bit of fresh garlic, also so good for you. And we've got some lovely dill and mint. Dill is kind of that key herb that gives it that specific tzatziki flavor as
That's
well.
right.
So I'm just going to chop the herbs up a little bit. We can see the mint's already chopped up here. So just
All
going
right.
to add that into our bowl, and then the dill just needs a little bit of a quick chop. Just cut off those main big stalks, and you just want to
Okay.
get those fronds nicely in there, because you want everything to kind of meld together fairly easily.
It's
You don't want to
amazing how
have
you
these big
release, yeah.
herby things sticking out of your teeth, you know? So,
That's right.
and
But
then
if that, it's okay.
no,
as
no,
well.
it's fine, exactly. Then I'm going to just add a few spoons of this. You want to add almost about a half a cup to a cup, depending obviously on your size of the dip that you
Okay.
want to make. It's just about getting the balance right of the yogurt to herb to cucumber ratio.
All right.
So here we go. Let's just kind of give this a little bit of a stir.
Yogurt-based
so
dairy
long.
snack. There we
And
go.
this is such a lovely, cooling, refreshing dip. So if you have anything that's
Yes.
spicy, it's such a great accompaniment.
Like our lamb that we've made,
There we
yeah,
go.
with that beautiful curry flavours.
Now I'm just going to take the cucumber. My hands are clean, and basically you just want to squeeze that excess liquid out before mixing it in. So you can just put it in like that.
All right.
Just squeeze. It's amazing how much water is actually in a cucumber.
yeah.
It's incredible, and that's why they're also so good for you. Just have that as a snack on its own. Brilliant.
That's right.
And this stir that cucumber in, so that's lovely, fresh and cool.
I
And
can
we-
definitely get the flavours of that
Oh,
tzatziki
and
coming
how
through already.
gorgeous does that cucumber smell? It's so
Beautiful.
beautiful. So a little bit of garlic. Of course, depending on your love for garlic, I love it, and it's so good for you.
The more
I
the
would
merrier.
I would add about a clove, but you can go easy on it, about half a clove or so. And the little bit of red wine vinegar is just to add some acidity to balance out that kind of creaminess.
That's
so
it.
just give that a little bit of a stir together, and as you can see, within a couple minutes, we have this gorgeous homemade dip, which you can use as a spread on sandwiches, you can fill on
Brilliant.
pitas. It's excellent. So there we go. And we've
What do you
got
need?
some lovely pitas over there.
Okay, so let me just grab this
Yes,
here.
and then you can take one of those little lamb guys, maybe dip it in and give it a little bit of a taste test
Okay,
if
let
you
me
like.
just- Absolutely. Wait, hang on. Can I just dip it in there quickly?
Of course, go for it. How does that float your boat?
In a pita, it would be amazing.
Yes, exactly. So look at that, perfectly layered on, add your different toppings, and you're done. I mean, it's so quick and easy. Obviously, with the sandwich, you can put any kinds of little meats or anything to go with it.
That's it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Check it out on our website, expressoshow.com. Also, you can SMS the keyword dish to 33728 if you want to get your hands on the
Little
recipe.
salt and pepper.
That is really, really delicious.
And
it's
so
like you
easy to
mentioned,
make.
It's fresh, it's uplifting, which is amazing.
Exactly, exactly. And obviously having the yogurt component's really good for your digestive system, all those good probiotics.
The microbiomes.
That's
you know,
right.
Keep it in.
Our second
keep
brain.
it in check. Yes, exactly. Amy, thank you very much.
Pleasure, pleasure.
That's it. That's my breakfast served. Awesome stuff. The keyword is dish. SMS that to 33728.
Indulge with Bliss Double Cream Yogurt. Made with love by Clover.
Well, if you're a dog owner, there's little argument as to who is man or woman's best friend. The only debate is short-haired or long-haired, allowed on the furniture or not, and how much extra cleaning is required. Fortunately, there's a range of fabrics, which means there's no need to even have the debate.
Everyone thinks they have the best dog, and certainly none of them are wrong. Adventures with our best furry friends are often some of our most treasured moments, and with some really amazing dog-friendly spots opening up all around the city and beyond, finding that next trendy spot is all the rage. But one has to be mindful as well. Luckily for dog lovers like myself, FiberGuard has us covered, and quite literally too. Pet-friendly and pet-proof fabrics is the name of their game, and tonight they've prepared a very special dinner for Bob and myself, along with some other cute furry friends and their owners.
What better way to put our product to the test with inviting a lot of dogs and have them running around and lounging on our fabrics that's stylish as well.
And who is this gorgeous little creature?
This gorgeous creature is Valerie. Dogs are just, they're just amazing. They love you more than they love themselves, and, their whole life is you, and they just bring us a lot of joy. And she's a special little character.
She's a cutie. What do you think it is about FiberGuard that just makes living with pets so much easier?
Well, FiberGuard, the fabrics range firstly is amazing. The variety and the different patterns and styles that they have are amazing. And pets, they make a lot of mess. So the fabric really, it makes a huge difference if you can wash it and it's super durable.
FiberGuard combines the latest stain-free technology for easy living. So we realize that we all lead busy lives and we need fabrics in a house that is easy to clean.
Hello there, do you want to tell us more about this gorgeous, gorgeous doggy?
Well, he's the friendliest of the three I have, and he's also the one that needs the most attention, so I decided to bring him along.
What's his name?
Paco.
What do you think it is about FiberGuard that makes living with beautiful dogs like Paco and the two others at home so much easier?
Well, it would be great because they could actually then get onto the furniture without being chased off it. You know.
That was going to be my next question to you. So you actually do allow them on the couch?
No, they do have their own little sofa, and which I had a cover made for, but now that's great because I can just upholster it in this, and then I don't need a cover anymore.
It makes life so much easier. Well, Paco certainly is enjoying life. Enjoying your best life there, love? Sure is.
Maintenance, it's a 3-step process. All you need is a paper towel, some water, and a household soap, and just repeat this process.
It takes dog lovers to find solutions for dog owners, and Craig Cater of Home Fabrics wanted to share the love with animals in need of a home.
Being a company of passion, we wanted to partner with somebody like Oscar Ark with the adoption and the rescue, and we decided that this was such a great collaboration and partnership. So what Home Fabrics did was we asked them to bring a lot of their rescue dogs along to today's event, and whichever dogs were adopted today, we would donate 2,500 Rand per dog. And I believe there's been quite a few that have been adopted, so it's been a great event for us, and we want to continue in that vein to continue the good work that Jane and her team do.
And who is this little cutie here?
Oh, it's Custer. Yeah, I'm actually taking him home today, so I've adopted him. Yeah, it's so exciting.
And what was it about Custer that just caught your eye?
It was a very difficult decision because there's so many options. I think my heart just melted.
Well, I think that you made the perfect choice.
From a South African perspective alone, Home Fabrics is constantly innovating new products, as you can see with FiberGuard. You know, we've taken our existing beautiful fabrics and we've added the stain-free technology to it, and we're constantly innovating as we go along.
The truth is, if you have indoor pets, you will always have to deal with pet hair on your furniture. And even if you become a dog whisperer overnight and are successful in keeping them off the couch, you still have to keep it clean. Thanks to FiberGuard, it's clear. No matter what animal you have, it's best to decide on an upholstery fabric that you can work with. Right, Bob?
Oh, how cute are those doggies? Well, listen, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm talking to all of you beside me here. How lovely is the setting, guys?
That's a cool space.
It's so nice.
Man.
Loving
It's
our new studio. Look, Rudi, have you had fun this morning, dude?
I had so much fun just being back and like getting seen everyone again, familiar faces. It's so good to be back.
You fit right in here, bro. You fit right in here, man. Awesome to have you join us. Thank you so much, man. So we're going to do this all over again tomorrow. Fantastic show lined up. We're going to get into, and this sounds like a really interesting topic, how low muscle tone or a lack of muscle tone can affect your child's ability to concentrate in the classroom.
Wow.
Healthy
Sure.
body, healthy mind. We say it over and over, but it is so true, especially in those developmental years when your child is young. They need to be able to have a physical kind of conditioning or relationship to be able to really express themselves mentally.
And we'll be having Graham to talk about that tomorrow. 'Cause
Clearly.
You're in there.
I am going through this learning phase right now. Yeah, I'm not surprised that I've got a baby at home.
Yeah.
But no, it sounds very interesting. Really.
Exactly. We're also talking about sustainability in the fashion industry and who's doing the most right now, so that's good.
Absolutely, and a brand new show heading your way on SABC2. We'll reveal all the details, but we have Charlene Brewer joining us in studio tomorrow to spill the beans. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
And I like the fact that you speak about the muscle tone from a young age, because it's so important that you start in the foundation phase. Whereas we normally start in like 20, 40, it's too late.
Oh, that's a pearl of wisdom.
Yeah, it's live show, so we gotta go now.
Mr. Fitness, love you, really. Love you guys. Even more.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.